I'm just playing with stuff here. I'm testing my technology. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. There's 2 of me. Last time I did a live on my laptop, this option wasn't available, so. But I'm just gonna look at this window and talk for a while. I'm gonna take my hair out, because it's all janky. It's all falling out. So when I'm finished with this, I think I'm gonna jump in the shower before Mom gets up. I don't know. She's been up twice already, so we'll see. I called today's talk. Wait, let me introduce myself first. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on how I feel about things. One of them, psychic intuitives is what they used to say. And, oh, that feels so good. I have some skills that have developed over the years, and they've helped me to see things different than other people. And I just explain things to people how I see how things are transpiring, and it shouldn't be. I'm always have that vibrational frequency of excitement. My mind doesn't know if it's fear, if it's a good excited or a scary excited. I'm just always excited. I've been shocked a lot in my life. When you've been shocked, your body just kind of stays in a shock state. So, where's that brush? The clocks are aligning. That's what I wanted to talk about today. How people are coming into agreement in the ethers, in the no place space, and ideologies and ways of thinking that they've never thought before. And I'm really excited for people to give me a different perspective about things in life that I've never thought before either. Because we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And our bodies, they're just our soul sack. And we've been manipulated to serve a system that the beasts have been running for a very, very, very long time. And these, the story I was going to tell about the clocks lining up. I've only heard one other person tell their version of it. I can't even remember where I heard it. I just like stories. So wherever I see people gathering, I feel like stories are being told, and I'll go to the place where people are gathering to hear the stories that are being told. It's my Scorpio moon. I'm very inquisitive. I'm a very curious person. And the way I heard it was, there once was a clock store keeper. And one night, he went around the clock store and wound up all of the clocks in the whole store that had a wind up. He went around and wound them all up. It took him it took him a while, 45 minutes, hour, or something like that, just to wind them all up. There's a lot of clocks in the clock store. And then he hit the close sign, turned out the light, and left for the night. And when he came back the next morning, he walked in, and all of the clocks were ticking and talking in sync. Another astrologer, I'm not an astrologer. I study astrology, but I think in order to be an astrologer, you'd have to earn your income from charging people to read their charts, is my interpretation of it. But This dude named Rick Levine told that story one time, and I was like, no way. I've only heard that story in one other place, and he's also an Aries, so maybe that's our common denominator. All we are clocks. Human beings, as I seen it. We're just clocks. We have our clock face is contingent on the time we were born on said day, and where the planets were and how they were lined up on that said day. And, and based on that, it kind of sets the behavior for how somebody acts. What my game in life is, I figured out that it would behoove me, and I will be a lot happier in life if I accentuate the positive and transmute the negative in my chart and do the best I can to rise above my astrology chart. Because if I were to be a person living from predominantly the majority of the time living from my ego, I would not have the comfortable, happy life that I have. If I were be driven by success and all that other stuff, I probably already would have driven myself into a grave, chasing all those sensations like I used to do. I'm gonna put this back for a while. So, well, people are clocks, as I see it. And now people are coming into alignment with seeing things like how America really is, how they've been saying the same things over and over and over every military engagement, and all they do is just keep getting louder. They don't change the narrative. They can't have atomic bombs. They can't have atom bombs. Dude, if we had atom bombs, we probably would have used them by now. Nobody cares about, at this point, people want clean water by now. We're at that stage of the game. You got these frat boy machismos that are playing chess with people's lives. So they could, I can't, like, the reality of the make-believe of America, and you still have the population of people that just, like, are just like, oh yeah, just get them, they can't have nukes. We're the psycho. Why do we have nukes? Do we have nukes? I don't believe we have nukes. I've never believed we had nukes. I just always figured they just give the security forces something to do. Have them go sit out and frickin' guard that empty silo, you know? They have us do all kinds of stupid stuff in the military. They call it military intelligence and national security and things like that. It's just grown men playing stupid games like we did when we were children. They create agency because they don't have practical skills. People that don't know how to build houses and do plumbing and electricity and fix things, they created this whole entire agency, this whole entire system based on nothing, so that they can control people that can actually do something. It's so weird. I was telling Mom yesterday, I was like, Mom, it's so weird that we are really watching the end of the United States. When I was a little girl in Central Valley Intermediate, 1986, 1987, God, what was that, Mr. Bauer? He was my history teacher. He was the most monotone, boring history teacher. He had a student, Mr. Barefoot. That kid quit teaching, walked away from his whole profession because the kids were so evil to him. That was back in the 80s. And then these kids went and had kids and taught their kids how to be evil to get their way. And then now their kids are having kids, and that's just generations of people just being wicked. Wonder whatever happened to him. He was a nice guy too. I decided then I didn't want to be a teacher. 'Cause kids, man, they're mean. And what do? They grow up into be mean adults. I don't want to be mean. That's why my face goes like this. 'Cause I'm fighting myself. Don't say that mean thing. 'Cause then you're like them. And then there's just more mean. So I'm like, I'll go for the slam. That's what my generation, we just go around, we just like, your mom. There's a lot of your mom jokes. Now people just pull out their guns and shoot you if you are in a disagreement because they grew up watching too much Grand Theft Auto. So I was listening to this dude. He's an astrologer on this morning, and he was talking about what about educational based, education based on astrology? And I was like, and he was so excited. He was so excited. He was like, this is cutting edge. This is like a new thing. See, because astrology, astrology is the only true science. It's like everything else is based off the energy on how we are all connected. And it's like the only thing that I believe in. I'm taking math classes now so I can give myself a different perspective of astrology. So, yeah, I'm just growing my database. Anyway, I've always loved astrology. Mom has had my first chart done when I was born. That's why, like, when I share my chart, because that's what when I pay to get a reading. That's all I'm doing is I'm paying somebody else to see if they could see my life as remarkable as it's been in my chart. And then to me, they're a good astrologer. And I have probably had some people have done my readings as like that Deborah Silberman chick. She'll open up. She used to. I don't think she does it no more. I think she's big enough she don't have to ask the community for that. But she'll be like, hey, if you want your or for their schools, they'll ask people to volunteer to get a birth chart reading. And so I've had like that done. But I've probably paid for 4, 5, 6, 5. And for other people, too. I'll get chart readings for other people, too. Probably 6. Michael, the peace dealer, did one for me like 7 years ago. It's the Heyoka one. He did the best job. The other one, one other one got published. The other ones didn't get recorded. And so, like, I have a hard time when because I'm autistic, I'm very direct. Mom raised me to be direct. Like, say what you mean. Like, what's the outcome? I don't want to know about how you feel about things. I want to know what you want. That's why I get frustrated with people. People like, I don't know, they got to butter you up. And I said, don't be fake with me. I don't care about all that. Just what do you want? I'll help you do what you want me to help you do. Just get to the point. Don't be fake. That's manipulative. And this society, it's just like, I quit trying to make friends. Because that's not what the world's about anymore. It's not making friends no more. It's about how much you can get from somebody before they figure out that they're getting used. Takes me a while, or I'll figure it out, and I'll just keep letting them until I'm like, oh, this is just dumb. Now they think I'm really stupid, so I can't. So this dude was talking about, and so I was like, didn't I do a talk on this? I'm pretty sure I've done a couple talks. I create playlists because I've done over 3,000 talks now, I think, in the last 10 years, 9 years. And it'll be 10 years March 26th, day after my dad's birthday. And so I said, I'm pretty sure. So I go back. That's why I'm doing my live on the laptop, because it's easier for me to search for stuff on the laptop. And I'm like, yep, there it is. Educational or astrology-based curriculum. I have talked about this. And so, like, I look at people as their energies, like combinations on one of those old lockers in high school where it's like this way, that way, and that's how the clocks are lining up. Like, I don't know, it's just and then people distract themselves with so many silly things, but the thing that matters the most is like shelter, clean water, and positivity amongst your community. Get people to do, and they will do useful things. Take away the useful things that the people do, and then they're racing around on their little bikes and driving around in the hills in their cars and making little circles of burning rubber over and over and over, because that's fun. I never understood that stuff. I just grew up with too many people that I learned from their mistakes. I try to learn from other people's mistakes in hopes that, in the same heart space as they learn from mine. So I would love to see astrology-based curriculum. Like I think the Virgos and the Capricorns and stuff, they would be good, like with CAD, like the planning stages. And then trying to articulate with the worker bees, like the Aries and I don't know which other ones are the worker bees. Gemini are hard worker. I've known Geminis to be hard workers. I've known Gemini. Women, let me specify. I'm trying to, think, because everybody, as long as I've lived, my whole life, I've, when's your birthday? You beat me. That's one of the first. If I'm interested, if I want to know more about you, and usually I want to know more about people, even if they're not in congruence from me, because I'm here to learn, and people teach me. It's my 29. It's my health. My 12th house is loaded. It's my what is it? My nodes are. Which one is my node? I just looked that up last night. Excuse me. Well, went too far. Way too far. Okay. Oh, wait. Here we go. So, my south node is in Gemini. That's in 21 degrees. In my 12th house, that's where Mars and Saturn sit. My Mars is 23 degrees. My Saturn is 29 degrees. That's the anaretic degree. That is the ooga booga degree. What's that mean? I'm not a patient person, so I had to learn how to be. That's what that means. Your growth move is take what you've learned alone in the 12th and ritualize in the 6th. Write it, teach it, live it. Not when it's perfect, but as your everyday work. That's why I do these talks like, today I fell on my face. You know what I mean? Today I freaking it, I did something stupid. Like, this is my personal journal of accountability, because I don't want to be the person that I used to be. So, yeah, my 12th house is pretty loaded. Yesterday it was pretty, it was a lot. Today I got up, I was going to go on a hike. I got up, I got dressed. I was like, last night I said I'm going to just, because I just have to feel how decide how I feel at the time I'm going to do something. Then I got up early enough. I fed Luna Tickle. She got breakfast early, and I was like, oh, okay, I think I can make it. And then when I looked it up on GPS, it was too far, and I was late for the start, to meet him at the start. And I don't show up places late. I just don't show up. If I'm gonna be late, I'm not gonna be late. I'm just not gonna show up. If I'm not early, I'm late. So I didn't go, but I got some really cool, like, sky shots coming back in up the canyon, coming up Highway 518. And then yep, so I went for a nice little drive this morning, about 6 o'clock this morning. I love it like that. I went to work that early for years. I had, like, my days were calculated. I'd get up at the same time. I'd be brushing my teeth at the same time. I'd be feeding the dog, letting him out. And then I had, like, the weather, the winter weather schedule. That, okay, a storm's coming. We're supposed to, and I didn't have a garage. But what I do is I just get those car covers and cover my car when there was supposed to be snow. And then if there's snow, I just pull off the car cover and leave the whole thing. And then go to work and then come back and deal with it later. That's, yeah. It'd take me 12 minutes to drive to Offutt Air Force Base from where I lived on 43rd Street. Get gas, hit the freaking big curly Q, get on the interstate, 12 minutes to hit the back gate. And then if you waited like 5 minutes, if I was 5 minutes late, then I'm waiting in a line with other people. But I just like, I don't like waiting, so I plan so that I don't have to. And then they created a society where they get paid, the agencies get paid to make people wait. I just think it's rude. I just think it's wasting other people's time is just a freaking shitty thing to do. They used to pull people out of work centers, because I was in 55th maintenance, and then they had where I worked age, and then they had jets, propulsions, then they had fabrication. That's where they did like welding and machine shop stuff like that. And then they had like fuel cell. The people that's all they did is they just drove around, put fuel all over the place so people could, yeah. And so they had all these within maintenance. And then they would have people that deem themselves of significance and importance higher than what I deem them as. I always thought the rank structure was just a silly thing. You have to listen to me because I have this little logo on my shoulder. I'm like, that stuff just cracks me up. I'm like, can you change a tire? I'm like, you don't have any background, a frame of reference of any creditable things that are of any interest to me. So no, as a matter of fact, I don't feel like I have to listen to you. I have to listen to you right here in what we're saying. But like in life, I mean, military officers, they're poli-sci grads. They're nepo kids. They're the kids that like played baseball, softball, like always went skiing. Like they didn't. They're the freaking jerks. They were always jerks to me. They're my brother and his crowd. Always pretending like they're really swell guys, and they just aren't. As the world is figuring out. So you, the clocks are definitely lining up, man. The clocks are definitely lining up. I'm excited and keep picturing the world for how I want to see it. And I'm looking for me and mom looking for our forever home, just where we can have a garden. And then I'm sure that there's like 6 charter schools around here. I don't know how many. I know that there's kids that go to these schools that were like me when I was growing up, and we didn't have no food. And I hated the weekends because we never could go nowhere because mom didn't have no money and we didn't have no food to eat. So I want to set up a food share, like a Marge's Meals on Wheels, for families like that, single moms, where something happened, like, and they need help, because that's the environment in which I grew up in. And this, ever since I was a kid, the beast has just grown, and a lot of wicked men have gotten off, and women too, just because of who they know. And that isn't a system that I don't think is ever going to go away, because too many people profit from being a part of it. So instead, I'm just going to create my own little pocket of peace in the world and have my garden and make my food and be my Auntie Margeness, and, just show people that you can come through hell and still create a little bit of heaven on earth and not have to add to the carnage every day. I don't even want to know what's going on in the world anymore. It doesn't matter to me unless it comes 7,000 feet in the sky and hits me where I am. It nothing impacts me unless it comes in this room. It don't impact me what happens in the world. If the power goes out, all I guess I got to do is just decide what do I do? First thing I got to do is I got to get my little jackery and plug my fan into that. And then I'll get the bigger one, and then we'll start our day, when mom wants to get up, But first things first, just keep it cool in here. Me keep it cool. And then, see, I have a good mom, and my mom taught me lessons like it's not about making the environment comfortable, so you're always not about moving yourself around and putting yourself in the most comfortable environment. It's finding comfort in any environment in which you're in, and that's what I had to learn to do. And people beings of this earth have been going around all this time just creating these little pockets of heaven, and then there's people that need help, but no, they're not going to do it. But you get paid to do it. You have to do it. No, I don't feel like it. It's in your job description. Why are you helping these people? Well, because it's narcissism. The world is broken down to narcissism and impasse. It doesn't mean that people can't change teams at any moment, at any given day. People can easily decide, I don't want to live this way. That's the cool thing about life, is that people can always determine how they want to live. Every day they wake up, they determine how they want to live. What character do they want to be? We're all just a cast of characters, and some of us are just central cast members. I was a central cast member. My brother's he's in central casting. It's all these people that are given positions and awards and prestige, it's taken, and I didn't want it. I didn't want to go that path, because in order to go that path, according to my brother, I would have had to put mom in a home. I would have had to give 2 of my dogs away. I would have had to do what he told me to do. And the thing of it is I did everything he told me to do, even going into the military, because I thought he wanted me to do what was best for me. And that's not the case. Agency always wants you to do what's best for them. And I figured that out the night before I shipped. I was flying out to go to Crete in 2003 for Operation Iraqi Bullshit. It was March 20th, 21st. I lost a day. It messes with my mind, flying backwards and timelines and stuff like that. Then we refilled in the sky, and they woke us up for that, but I never actually saw anything. I was trying to look outside, and I couldn't. There's nothing out there that I could see. I'm like, am I really on the island of Crete? It was all Greek to me. But, because they made that movie Popeye on Malta. They made that whole city on Malta, an island in the Mediterranean, so that people would believe that Popeye was at this little town. It was all this ritual. It's all behind the scenes. Let's do this so we could do this over here. And so the night before, I know the extent that this nation is gone through to I was off it when on 9/11 we immediately started deploying equipment immediately to go off and bomb whoever did this. And it was like, I didn't even know that towers fell until 10:30 that night. Somebody in California told me, and I said, "You're lying. There's no way those towers could have." They're like, "Marge," and I had to go to a TV in the laundry room because I lived in the dorms, and I was just standing there. I'm like, I'm in the United States military, and I'm looking at this building in the laundry room at the dorms, and I'm saying to myself, we did that, so now we're gonna go do some bullshit over there. And that's what we did. And I'm like, that's what America is. It was me when I was in first grade on the playground at Project City Elementary. And I was buddies with Dusty Baker, was the kid's name. Little roly-poly blonde kid, wore glasses. And we were in cahoots. He would pick on the girls, and I would save the girls. And that's what we did on our recesses. So there's those that put the damsel in distress, and there's those that save the damsel, and then there's those that do both. But these are things that you do as children, that you are supposed to evolve from, that learn, like, go do practical things. Don't do silly things like that. And then I grow up, and I become a part of the military because I knew I had to go to college to get a good job to take care of mom, because that was my program. And come to find out, all the stuff we do over there, there's never any reason for it. And it breaks young men's souls. It breaks their spirit. Like when you're someone you care about, when they deploy and they go to some place where they get a little piece of the knowledge that America's a liar and that they can't, that narrative that they put on us over here, it can't be supported by what happens over there. Like, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. Because I try to join things to see the good things, and then they show me what it is. And thou shalt not kill. And we never have any reason. I want to see the military as something that just protects the United States. And evidently they just signed in that they merged forces with that unacknowledged, the country that should not be named. Just stop giving them credit. Just stop. I mean, I'm so over that storyline. It's just, it's played out. You can't. And then they do, and then now here we are, and now more military members are just gonna, they're just, because, I mean, I meditate a lot, so I don't respond to my buddy doesn't respond to what my eyes and my mind are comprehending, just like water off a duck's back. It's just another story, you know. Every time that dumbass head, whatever his name in, Department of whatever, death, Department of butt stuff, fraternity of brotherhood of, that's all their fraternities. Like, they believe in this stuff. And that don't help me take care of mom. None of this stuff. There's more, and mom is the only one I gotta take care of. There's all these people having kids and stuff. So many people, like, why? I was taught when I was young that not to have anything that I couldn't take care of. If I couldn't take care of it, I don't need to have that thing. If I could not, like cats, if you can't take care of the cat, if you can't clean the cat's cat litter, then you're not going to get the cat because you can't take care of it. Same goes for dogs. If you don't clean up the messes, if you don't feed the dog, if you don't take care of the dog, if you're mean to the dog, anything happens like that, you don't get the dog because you can't take care of it. That's what I was taught as a child. You know, and so, like, I'm like, well, dude, I never want to have kids because I don't know if I can take care of them, because I saw the struggle and how hard it was for mom to take care of me and my brother as a single mother in the 70s against a system that was hard, exceptionally, predominantly based on the fact that because my grandparents knew people that could make it hard for my mom, and it didn't have any, and there's no integrity in that, and there's no protection for people like me and mom in that, and she was locked up twice in the Atascadero State Mental Hospital just because they felt like it, and they had no grounds. She's never done anything. Like, just because people feel like it, they can ruin the lives of others, and this has been going on for a long time, as you know, and it's expanded far beyond the Epstein class. And start blaming the people that take the buyout. How about more of that? How about more of the people that knew about it in proximity? How about we start putting them on blast more? I would love to see more of them on blast. Oh, you used to... Oh, but I didn't know. But you got a paycheck for years? For not knowing? So you must not be really good at what you do if you just don't know. Like the people that tell me, oh, there's good police. That just sit there, keep their mouth closed, collect a paycheck because they don't want the bad ones to get them too. I only did 6 years in the military because it only took me... I just knew I was only going to do 6 years because my recruiter kept... I talked to my recruiter because I was an adult. I wasn't an 18-year-old kid when went in. I was 25. And I would ask him questions like, hey, are the police the lowest test score on the military entrance exam? And he said, no, they're the second. So security forces. So these guys, they go in, they do a couple years, and then they go back home with their high school diploma and their 2 years in service, and then they start out at the higher end at their, at the bros club, at the cop shop. It's like it's a Ponzi scheme. America's a Ponzi scheme. Like, look at all the people that get paid based on intangible systems. Like that Biff, the president. I call him Biff. Go watch Back to the Future. He's Biff. That's his programming. He's been told that he is like some golden prophetic man, and at the whole McDonald's arches and all of it. Like, he is a character. And he's... People give that guy too much press, man. And with this double, that was funny. With it... They've lost the plot. They've lost the plot. What was I saying about Biff? That feels good to rub my eyes. I can't remember what I was saying about Biff. I don't care. He's a big dumbhead. They all are. So, okay. A nation where like the Air Force, the mission is to get people where they need to go. Not protecting and okay, you need to get here, let's get you here. It's more of a networking thing. We only go to war because people are conflicted within themselves. I saw it firsthand. And they keep spending millions and billions and trillions and then tell people, hey, people, you guys don't deserve it because we don't recognize you, because we don't care about you. Dude, he doesn't care about nature. The only nature that dude will ever go into is freaking golf courses. Start taking his golf courses away. Watch him start flipping his lid. Because golf courses and property and military, it's all real estate. Who has the best real estate? That's what militaries do. They decide what they're going to take from where. But the thing of it is America lost its workforce over the last 3-4 decades. It's dwindled. The workforce has dwindled. People didn't want to go to factories and build bombs and do this and do that. And now they're saying we're doing all this stuff over there. We're not doing jack shit because we don't have the surplus to do what they say that we're doing. They're just saying that we're doing things because that's what America does. It's like Hollywood. It'll make you, look at this movie. It makes you believe that this whole Independence Day, this, whatever the movie is, what is the movie now? Odyssey? Is that the big one now? Is that Odyssey the same one from Pluto? Pluto's Odyssey? Is that the same? Is it Pluto? Or am I confusing the allegory of the cave? Plato? The Odyssey? Two hours and 53 minutes. I don't know if I could watch it. I can't watch new movies, especially if they have actors that have faces that they change their faces. I especially can't. What's freaking old TH up to these days? Yeah, and then, yeah, I don't think so. Well, what's it based on? Which one? Oh, okay, so it is. I wonder if he went to Greece since he studied the Odyssey so much. That was one thing that was cool about going to Crete, is because that's where these beings walk the earth. So I got to walk the earth where these great beings walk the earth. These, well, these prophetic people in history, I should say. I don't know how. I don't know. I still think Patrick's Point in Northern California was better, but that was just because I saw whales, what, breaching? Is that what it's called when they come up out of the water? And psh, they were doing that in the moonlight. That was like magical. That's probably 1920. So, world's getting really, really goofy, but when I look out there, but when I come in within, my peace is constant. And mom is happy. And we might even go for a ride today. We went for a ride yesterday briefly, just for a little while. It was storming, so there was waterfalls of water falling from the sky last night, or yesterday when we went out yesterday afternoon. It was so pretty. She loves going out, and she gets all charged up from the storms. It's electrifying. It charges us. We're electricity. The only thing that animates us is the cooperation between our heartbeat that's measured by an electrocardiogram, and our respiratory system. Because you take those away and we have no consciousness without that. And people have been intruding on their consciousness by just, I don't know, not really taking care of their soul sacs very good. I do it too. I have a sweet tooth, so sugar is my greatest toxin. What I try to balance it out is, if I'm going to eat something sweet, I get to earn it and do sets of on my dumbbells and things like that. Actually, Greece was pretty cool, because I never would have gone to frickin' vacation in Greece, and I actually got to play tourist, because everybody else worked 39, I think it was, 32 days straight. All the crew chiefs, everything. I was the only chick that was on the flight line. And then we had so much personnel, and then when Jack and Sergeant Brito came over from Turkey, that's where I was supposed to go, but then Turkey wasn't letting U.S. personnel out. So I went to Crete, to Suda, and then we had personnel, and then there was permanent party that was already stationed there. And so at our workstation, we had plenty of coverage. So senior management said, put age on the schedule for 4 days on, 3 days off. Because Phil was cool like that. So I would work my 3 days. I actually don't think I went to work on my birthday when we bombed Baghdad. I was thinking about that. We bombed Baghdad on my birthday, but I think that was the day that I walked up from the hotel panorama, I walked out. I would play tourist. And evidently, I found out later that I wasn't supposed to do that, and I could have gotten in trouble for that. But then I went with other guys from the hotel that were like an off shift, and like we went down to Hanya. I got my hair cut there. Last time I've only had long hair twice, and the last time it was this long, I got it cut off in Greece 23 years ago. And so it was a trip to get to play tourist. No, I did go to work that on my birthday. I did. Because that's how I treated myself with the breakfast buffet. And I remember myself in uniform, or not in uniform, but having my backpack. The worst part of it all was seeing what those boys turned into. To watch these young men that were like, go, 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 Semper Fi, Semper Fi, Semper Fi, you know. They were so ready and raring to go, and then we did Baghdad, and then they brought them back to Suda and put them in that same hangar that they were not the same men that left. These guys were, I don't know. It's like they emptied themselves out on that battlefield, and there was nothing good came back. And then what happened next was that the base commander, for morale, you know how they just for morale. It's for we just let them, you know, for morale. So they allowed them to go to the bowling alley because that's the only place on Suda Bay that had alcohol. And those 550 Marine emptied out the entire, in like all the beer that they had in the bowl, it was gone in like 45 minutes, an hour. These kids were just, and then they went back in their head of what they just did, and then they trashed the entire base, and then Suda Bay, the base commander, had to lock down the base because they had a bunch of crazy Marines running around that just did, because that's, yeah. And these guys were there for like days. They were over a week. It was like 8-9 days. I just kept showing up. I'm like, man, why are these guys still here? Because they were in this big hangar, 550 guys with their equipment, so they were sleeping in their tanks and stuff like that. And then they didn't have no place to do their laundry. There was only one female, one male bathroom in this whole place, and these guys trashed it that day that they all got, went crazy. It made me uncomfortable. I didn't want to be a female around these crazy Marines that did all this gross stuff that men do in war. That's not, no. And so one day I came, and then they were just gone. And I ever since then I was like, I wonder how many are left? How many of those 550 Marines are left? They started out big and tough, all Semper Fi, and then they're like, Semper suck when they left. I mean, these guys, 550, 1,100 parents, if they have parents. See, I was one of those. They're doing now what is the reason why I went in back then is they're doing now. There's no jobs. That's how they get people to join the military, is make civilization so shitty, like you don't have any choice, And I just want this nation to be a place where We don't have to sign up to kill people in places we don't belong to make it good here. And I am okay with how America is over, because it's never done me any favors. It's never done Mom any favors. Mom was born in an orphanage. Terrible things happened to her. I always knew that this existed, and it was always allowed to perpetuate and it just continued to exist. And so if the systems that allow those things to happen dissolves and are no longer allowed to exist, I'm okay with it, because they didn't do us no favor anyway. And I don't like going to baseball games and football. I don't care about sports. I care about people having food to eat. And when it's cold, they have a place to be warm. And when it's too hot, they have a place to stay cool. That's what I care about. And then when you're sitting around, you talk about things to make the place in which you live better. Cleaner, healthier. Evidently, they're putting a Marriott hotel in at the Taos Pueblo. So, nothing breaks my heart more than to see the indigenous go colonized, instead of teaching the colonists how to live in the ways of the indigenous. They just went with the program too. And there's nothing I can do but just watch. That's why I don't have faith in organizations and clubs, because they care about more the Taos Pueblo, about making sure that the people that get incarcerated for making their bad choices, that get arrested, that they get a free meal from Ricky's, than making sure that the people have what they need to live in safe environments. Because it is like no other, it is just like all the other places that is just a production. They want you to see the show. From the time I was a busser, and I would have to set up corporate, they'd like come in and be like, I'd set up the table tents and stuff, I'd wipe it down. I was like a kid in a rodeo bussing tables. Like, it was like roping cows to see how fast I could clear the tables and stuff. It was fun to watch. People would stop and tell me, you're a really hard worker, stuff like that. So from that, and then they'd come in and they'd correct me. Oh, you're doing it wrong. I'm like, what do you mean I'm doing it wrong? Oh, we decided that we're going to put the salt and pepper on this side and the table tent here. And I'm like, you decided, huh? How many of you and your buddies sat around a table and decided that that's where they need to be instead of someplace else? Like, they're freaking weirdos. Like, these people that sit around and make these silly, frivolous decisions that don't matter. And then, because I grew up, my grandparents liked anime. My grandma's a Sagittarius and my grandpa was a Leo. He's a Freemason, she's an Eastern Star. They love the entertainment and stuff like that. They used to take us to Santa Maria, to the melodrama place. I wanted to be in plays. Like, I was in plays, and then I stopped before high school, because all that stuff costs money. And then we never had cars that were reliable, so Mom just said, you're on your own if you're, and I couldn't be consistent, so I just opted out if I couldn't be consistent. And then I get jobs as I got older, and I'm like, man, you're really trying to get the public to believe that, like, you're really gonna do this service. And then I watch the people all day long, and they're not doing the service in which they tell the public that they're providing. They're watching YouTube videos. They're doing this. They're talking to their kids. They're over here having an affair. They're at the gym. They're doing all these other things, but the service in which they're supposed to get paid for. And then I went in the military. And I was standing out there. I was out there with every plane that exists, pretty much. I've seen it on that off, because they would have the big defending freedom air shows there, which is more commercial Ponzi scheme American bullshit. And so I've seen both very close firsthand the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds, and it's all a show to get people to be look, see what America, those planes don't do anything to defend America. They go around and party, and they hook up with chicks in the local area, and they're like they're rock stars in their own mind, and they do all this stuff that the pages on UCMJ says they're not supposed to do. That's just for other people. That's not for the important cast of characters. I've known dudes that, like, as one dude I used to know, he drove the bus for the Blue Angels, and they were in an air show either in Arizona or down here in Albuquerque, I think it was. Dude got wasted the night before, woke up, couldn't remember what he did with the bus, but then he had to go pick up all the pilots and take them to the flight line. Of course he made it, but still, it's like these are the people that are the defenders of us. No, I think I'll keep defending myself, thank you very much. You know, they build things up so people believe that this is how things are, and that you have to listen to them because this is how things are, when the reality of it is, it's just they're playing a character. Like, what's a policeman? This is the respect that I have for a policeman, is that they have the expectation that when they're called, when they show up, regardless of what the situation is, they have to handle it. Even if they've never, like, they don't know what they're doing, but the expectation is call the police. They'll know what to do, but largely police are just, they're not. Look at what it takes to be a policeman. All you need is a GED if you have the right mentality. That's all you need. A high school diploma. Like that doesn't bode a great deal of intelligence. You don't need a great deal of intellect. So problem solving skills, like, yeah, if they're going to direct traffic or something like that, that's great. But, like, I was sad to see there was a bear that ended up on a telephone pole. South New Mexico, somewhere around here. And they just call, hey, are you calling about the bear on the pole? Yeah. Oh, just leave it there, 'cause if we shoot it and it falls, like, they could have tried harder. The bear died. Because they don't try. Because that's what New Mexico is. Don't bother. Don't even try. Just let the problem take care of itself. But, as the world knows, New Mexico is the #1 BFF to Jeffrey Epstein. So, I don't really think much of my stupid cousins until they start proving themselves to be better than they have for the last 3-4 decades. Be more than the car show. Care more about the Hatch chili. Try harder than the hot air balloon festival, because, stop living for the machismo. I'm kind of over it, really. All these tough guys, I seen it my whole life. I seen it. The evolution of the machismo. They're so big and tough, they're with their 5'2", 5'3", whatever. They're driving around their big lifted trucks. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're tough. You're so tough today, right? People have said that to me. You think you're so tough? I'm like, what do you mean I think I'm tough? I don't think I'm tough. No, I don't think I'm tough. I've lived a very tough life, and I've made it look easy. And that is tough. I know that's tough. I know I'm tough. I don't think I'm tough. I've done a lot of tough things. It's hard to take care of someone that you love and have to disconnect the role in which you were to that person in order to be their caregiver. It's tough. It's tough to do. But people that only take care about themselves, they don't recognize it. They don't, because they only take care of themselves, so they don't know how hard it is to take care of other people. They really don't. until something happens and they're like, oh, world, come in. Take care of me. Please take care of me. This is so uncomfortable. I need to be taken care of. And then the world asks you back, what have you ever done to take care of anybody else to keep them from this uncomfortable feeling that you're feeling now? Have you ever done anything? Anything at all, ever? Think hard. Well, I was a good dad. Were you? Would your kids say that? You were consistently for all time? Nah. So the contrived reality is being broken open. Not for me, because I've always seen it. Mom and I have always lived it. The program is dissolving for the people that have gone along for the program. I haven't lived in the program for a number of years. I became unemployable in 2016. I couldn't get a job in a gas station. And that's when I was like, oh, okay. So nothing is based on merit. Nothing is based on experience. Nothing is based on all the knowledge that you contain and what you can bring to that organization. And it has all to do with who you know. And if you're going to go along with their program. And that's where my downfall is I don't go. I'm not a joiner. I'm not a joiner. I joined to try to make things better, and then I found out the things that I joined were fraudulent, including the United States Air Force. And then I just quit. I just didn't say anything for a long time. I just let people believe in this stuff, and then I'm just like, you know what? I can't let people believe in this freaking. I can't live their lie. So at least in my proximity, I would correct them based on my experience. And they never let my experience override their imagination, so the illusion that, Uncle Sam isn't a creepy, pervy, freaking opportunistic lech. That's what Uncle Sam is, So I just stay away. More and more I stay out of society. I will stay out of society's way because I have no desire to change it. Oh, thank goodness. That's all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day.